What's going on, YouTube? Ferocity here. I hope you guys are doing well. For today's video, I want to change it up a little bit. What you see in front of me is a tier list of every single original map from Modern Warfare 2's launch, and the reason why I'm doing this is quite simple. The launch maps for MW3 are going to be the same as what we see here for MW2. And that's kind of exciting. I like a lot of these maps, and I'm so excited to talk about them today with all of you. I'm going to rank them from elite down to terrible and just discuss each and every single one of them, some of my favorite moments on the map, and why I feel they deserve to be in the category they're in. Now, whenever it comes to a tier list like this, I'm always open to suggestions, always open to your feedback, so don't be afraid to leave a comment down below in that comment section to let me know if you agree with me or disagree with me. So at the end of the day, let's just have fun with this and let's get into ranking these maps. And let's start with the first map on this list here, which is Afghan. A map that I do truly love, but I can remove the emotion from this map a little bit and rank it fairly. Let's be honest, the color palette for Afghan is very boring. It's very gold, yellowy, brown. It's a desert. But even though it has a very boring color palette, it is still a very fun map to play at times. It can get very campy, it can get very boring, but I think it has a lot of good elements as well. It has some good flow to it, and it's not overly big. Yes, it does have a little bit of size to it, but at the same time, I feel that the points of interest, the power points, really reduce the size of this map and make it really fun to play. So with that being said, I don't think it's an elite map. It's right on the border of great and decent. It's definitely better than mid, so I'm going to give it a decent rating here. It's a fun map to play. I'm never going to be disappointed to play it. I'm never going to be trying to veto it. That's for sure. However, the next map I will try to veto as much as possible, which is Derail. It's a map that I'll defend when it comes to Call of Duty maps as a whole, as I feel that it does rank better than most low-tier maps in other Call of Duty games, but when it is matched up against the other maps in MW2, it's just a terrible map. It's not a lot of fun to play. It has fun moments here and there, but it really relies on how your lobby is playing. If your lobby likes to camp, if they like to use shotguns, if they like to just sit and snipe, it's not a very enjoyable map. But if you have a very run and gun, rush heavy lobby, then it can be an extremely fun map. But it's very hit or miss, and that's the problem. And the reason why it's so hit and miss is because it's absolutely huge, and the visibility isn't that great. It's very cluttered in some areas and very vacant in other areas. So it's just overall kind of a bad map. And if it was reduced in size and it was all about that mid building, it might be a more fun map to play. But as it stands, Derail is absolutely terrible. The one saving grace this map does have, though, is it is kind of fun to play in Search and Destroy. I'll be honest there, I've had a lot of fun playing this map in Search and Destroy in the past. Next one up is Estate, a map that we saw a little bit of a ripoff of in Modern Warfare 2, but we haven't seen it come back to life in its full glory, and I really like this map. I don't think it's a terrible map. I don't think it's a mid map. It's a decent map. I love the fact that it has different power points, different points of interest within the map that people are going to try to hold. Whether it's the giant mansion, or it's the boathouse that you want to sit on top of and snipe or control power positions from, you can do that. There's a few power positions to hold in this map, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it diversified depending on the lobby you're in. So it's not a great map by any means. I would rather play some of these maps over this one, but when it comes to just a map that I will be happy to play, Estate is right there. Next one is Favela. This is an elite map, guys. It really is. Through and through, I adore this map. I think it was so creative to have a map that is so vertically different. You know, you have the regular street level, then you have the roof level, and it's really nice, really intricate, and just a fun map to play all in all. And I'm looking forward to playing it again in Modern Warfare 3. It's a good map. It's a great map. It is an elite map. Speaking of elite maps, you guys know where this goes. High Rise, elite of the elite, S tier, S plus tier, whatever you want to call it. This is one of the best maps Call of Duty has ever made. I remember when I was first playing Modern Warfare 2, I would wait and play the game as much as I could until I finally got to play High Rise, because that was the highlight of my night. Playing this map is an absolute enjoyment through and through. Whether it's in Team Deathmatch or Search and Destroy or in Domination, this map is an absolute joy to play. I love High Rise. I cannot wait to play it in Modern Warfare 3 and just let the good times roll. Now we're going to get into some controversial decisions because the next map up is Invasion, and I know not everyone loves this map, but I think it's actually kind of a decent map. It's not a middling map. I think it actually has a lot to offer, and it really depends on the game mode that you're playing and the lobby you're in. But I think as an average, this is a really decent map. It's a lot of fun to play. It has some good sight lines, it has some good power positions, and it has a good flow to it. So the more that you learn about this map, the better you're going to play it. And I really like that. So it's a typical 3-lane map that also has another 3 lanes built into it. So it's kind of a grid that just crosses itself over. And it's super fun to play. I really enjoy the map. Next one up is Karachi. This is just a mid-map. Like, I'm not upset to play it. I'm not excited to play it either. It's enjoyable. It does have that vertical difference similar to Favela, but it's not nearly as good as Favela is. It doesn't have that level of intricacy that I feel Favela has. You don't have as many rooftop battles, that's for certain. But it still has some verticality, which is nice, but it is by no means as good as the maps above it. It's just better than the maps below it. Speaking of the maps above it, Corey. Again, I might get some hate on this because I'm sure a lot of people feel Corey is a mid-map. It's just not. It's a fantastic map. I love it through and through. It's not a great map, but again, if it comes up in the rotation, I'm not upset. I enjoy the flow of it. It is a little bit on the larger side, and it's an enjoyment to play. I do enjoy playing this map, so that's why it belongs where it belongs. And now the most controversial map on this list for me, Rundown. I think it's a great map. I know no one else here is going to agree with me. I know everybody is going to downvote this video because I put Rundown as a great map, but I think it's an absolutely fantastic map. Now, it can be campy as hell, and I agree to that, but there is nothing more satisfying than playing this map and locking down an area for yourself or going out and flanking people left, right, and center. And I think that flanking is going to return in Modern Warfare 3, so Rundown is a perfect map to understand, know where to hit your right spots so you can flank and just catch enemies by surprise. It was so rewarding back in MW2 in 2009, and it's going to be rewarding again in MW3. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Rundown has a lot of great qualities. I know it's no one's favorite map, but I just have a very deep emotional connection to this map. It was the first map I ever got a nuke on. It had just such a long-standing history with me. I absolutely adore it. Another great map is Rust. Not because I think it's fantastic in multiplayer, but when it comes down to custom games, there's no better map outside of maybe Shipment. And honestly, I'm a little sick and tired of seeing Shipment. So I want to bring back Rust, and I want to play it as much as possible. I loved 1v1ing friends with my intervention on this map. I loved that little period of time where it was, 18 players in the lobby and you were super speed on Rust. It had its moments. I do like this map. I'm looking forward to it returning. I just don't know how it's going to play. But either way, I'm going to enjoy it, I think. Scrapyard, this is another elite level map. I adore this map through, just really, really like it. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I don't know what else you can really say about the good maps in this game. They're just fun to play. And speaking of fun to play, Skid Row. It belongs in the great category. I know that there are some people who feel this map is campy. And honestly, Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 did have a very campy element to a lot of its maps and to its general gameplay as a whole. But I feel as if Skid Row was one of those maps that you could play any play style and succeed on it. Whether it was you wanted to rush or you wanted to camp or you wanted to control power positions, it had all of that. And I think we're going to see that return again in Modern Warfare 3. I love the fact that it has some long-range sight lines as well as some crazy close quarters gameplay that is just a ton of fun to play. Next map on this list that is going to fall into the mid category is Subbase. I know people probably want this in the terrible category, but I'll throw it in the mid category. I probably like this map more than most, but I do acknowledge that it has its flaws. It has some visibility issues, And maybe with it being, spec'd up to today's standards, it might be easier to see enemies. It might be more fun to play. We'll just have to wait and see. But as a whole, I don't think this map is anywhere near the bottom of this game's offerings for maps, but it's just nowhere near as good as the other maps on this list. So that's why it falls in the mid tier. Now our next elite tier map, obviously Terminal. We don't really have to discuss the long history of this map. It's an incredible map. I love it. That's all that needs to be said. Underpass. Terrible map. I mean, the rain falling, the map design, the map flow, all of that grouped together, just not a very good map. Visibility on this map, again, is really bad. It feels as if whenever Modern Warfare 2 had weather elements implemented into their maps, it just didn't really work as well as it intended to. Maybe it'll work better in Modern Warfare 3 with some upscaled graphics. We'll have to wait and see. And then Wasteland. Another terrible map. A map that might have been better if it didn't have so many dead zones in it. A map that was just overall kind of boring to play. Obviously, it was a haven for snipers, a haven for noob tubers, and it wasn't really fun if you tried to reg gun. And unfortunately, I reg gun a lot, and it just made it not be a very fun map. So all in all, I think that the majority of the maps that we're going to get in Modern Warfare 3 are going to be decent or better. And there's just a few maps that are below that standard, that average standard that I would say that we should have. But when it comes to just maps that are fun, there's a ton of fun here to be had with the maps from MW2. But that's my opinion. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know with a comment down below in that comment section what you think of the maps in Modern Warfare 2 that will now be in Modern Warfare 3. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos from me, please hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.